Hey everyone, it's Brano, and today I wanted to talk about my only regret in game dev. Because I only have one, and for the longest time I didn't think I had any regrets in game dev. But before I answer the question of what that actually is, I'd like to talk about the question if you could go back in time, what would you have done differently? And I'm talking about this because there's three different ways you can interpret this question. The first way is that you go back in time as a former version of yourself with all the knowledge you've accumulated, with all the knowledge, with all the wisdom, with all the skills, and you can basically cheat life. And I know that the answer for the majority of us in this case is going to be invest in ultra high risk assets that give you an amazing return. Basically, just invest in Bitcoin and make a ton of money. But that's kind of cheating. The second way of interpreting this question is that you lose the knowledge of all the events, but you keep your wisdom and skills. And I still think that is sort of cheating because I can make video games and that would greatly change what I could have done. The third way of interpreting this question, and my personal favorite, is asking whether or not you made the right decisions with the information and the environment you were in at the time. And I like this way of interpreting the question because I think it's very unreasonable to expect people to make perfect decisions with imperfect information. And I know that during the 2010s, when I was beginning to try game dev on multiple occasions, I had no idea that I would ever get this good at game dev. I didn't know that tutorial content was going to get so much better in such a short period of time, and I didn't know that the tools were going to improve this much as well. So, looking back, I don't think there's anything I could have done to really speed up the beginner stages of game dev. I tried game dev multiple times, I failed, and finally in 2020, when the tutorials got good enough and the tools got easy enough to use, I was able to finally get over the beginner stages. But this leads into the novice and intermediate stages of game dev, which leads to my one and only regret with game dev. And it doesn't even really involve game dev. It's that during the 2010s, I really wish that I had played more indie games made by small teams. And I say this because I'm a big believer in using your gamer intuition as the North Star to sort of give you the direction of where you need to head towards as a game dev. And during the 2010s, the vast majority of my gaming time was spent on online multiplayer experiences made by massive teams. And so because of that, my gamer intuition was not aligned with what a solo developer could or should create. That doesn't mean I didn't play indie games during this time. I think I played 18 indie games during the 2010s, and I'm talking about small indie games, which is actually not that bad compared to most developers from what I can tell, but it's still not enough to give you any real gamer intuition of what is missing within the indie game market. And because I've got that disconnect, I was very unsure of what audiences there were that would actually buy games that a solo or a duo developer could make. Now, fortunately, I found that it's quite easy to catch up, and just by playing a bunch of smaller games in hot genres that you want to participate in, you will gradually increase your ability to gain taste within that genre. You'll learn what you dislike, you'll learn what you like, you'll learn what is missing within this genre, and you will be able to add part of yourself into this genre. And just by playing more games, you will eventually gain the intuition you need to be able to make a game that adds value to the market. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been playing catch up and I've been enjoying it a lot. So I'm making an incremental game at the moment, and I have a pretty good idea of exactly what I want to make, which is awesome. So in short, my only regret in game dev is not playing more small games at an earlier time. And that's it for me. Have a good one, guys. See you later.